Hello everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop review. This time we're looking at a CO2 Blowback Airsoft pistol from KWC, and this is the Mauser, kind of styled after the M1 1932/M712 Schnellfeuer. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Some German words are a little hard to say. Now the gun we're looking at today mainly is this one here, the KWC. We also have our Umarex. Now this is an Umarex 4.5mm BB pistol. I've already reviewed it, and it's pretty much the same gun. A little more plastic in the Umarex version. It's also chambered for 4.5mm steel BBs. But they're very similar in a lot of ways. Alright, let's get right into the specifications. This gun is made by KWC in Taiwan. It's a blowback CO2 semi-auto shooter with selectable full auto, at least in the 6mm version. It's an all-metal gun. This gun has a full-size dropout metal magazine that holds 21 BBs, and also the CO2, which happens to be 12 gram. This gun shoots 6mm plastic airsoft BBs and comes in at a hefty 3.15 pounds or 1,424 grams. It is single action only and shoots at 400 plus FPS even with the 0.25 gram BBs. And this is a sample or demo model, so it may not be exactly like the for sale version when that's available. This doesn't have any licensing, branding, or anything on it. And there may be some slight changes to the production model. Again, it is a replica of a Mauser M1932/M712 Schnellfeuer. Now Umarex calls theirs the C96, but both guns really aren't truly C96s. Alright, let's quickly look at this Umarex version so I can get this out of the picture. Lighter gun, a lot more plastic outer shell. Magazine is metal, inner barrels, inner parts are going to be metal, but this is a lighter gun, okay? Different setup, magazine setup entirely, but still a great gun. Shoots really well, a lot of fun. Very quick action on this gun. But again, more plastic, chambered for 4.5mm steel BB. Does have the adjustable rear sight, which is nice. Does have all the working parts other than full auto. Doesn't have full auto. This is just molded in. So let's get this guy out of the picture. Well, let's quickly weigh them before I do that. Okay, so let's weigh these guys just so you can see the real difference here. So zero this out. Okay, zeroed out. And we're looking at 1.13 and 1/4 pounds. So 1 pound, 13 ounces, and 1/4 ounce. And let's compare that to the big heavy KWC, which is 3 pounds, 2 ounces, 2 1/4 ounces. So much heavier gun, over 3 pounds with the CO2 in it. Alright, I'm not sure exactly when we're going to be selling this in our Canada Replica Airgun store and hopefully our US store shortly thereafter. As I said, this is a sample product. I haven't seen any in any retail stores in Canada, anywhere really. I haven't even seen any reviews on this gun at all. So it's kind of nice that we have this for you to show you before it actually becomes a production model. When we do have notification that we're getting this gun, we have an idea of quantities and whatnot, we will be doing a pre-sale. And of course, when we have regular inventory, we'll have that in our store for regular sale. Alright, let's do a quick walk around of this pistol. All metal, pretty much everything is metal with the exception of the plastic grips that look like wood. They're pretty decent actually. This is the left side. You do have your semi and full auto. I'll do a little bit of shooting with it in a sec here. Let's pull this magazine out. Okay, your CO2 just goes in the bottom. Alright, you load it from the top. So pop them in the top, 21 rounds. They are stackable, so they stack sort of side by side. You get quite a few in there. Alright. Let's take a look. Again, all metal. Everything's metal. Okay. Your safety. Your bolt. Put that in safe for now. Adjustable rear sight. We'll take a quick look at the top here. See inside there. Now I did want to show you something quickly here. You'll notice that the Umarex front sight is a little higher, and you'll also notice that, I don't know if you can see it, but the Umarex barrel seems to droop just a hair. It just seems to droop. And I was wondering why it drooped. What I found is this gun loves to shoot high. So with the barrel down and the sight high, that's going to make the whole front of the gun come down, and that's going to basically have the round shoot lower. even with this all the way back, it wanted to shoot high. So that was, when you see the actual shooting portion, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, take a look at the right side. Yeah, I'm not sure, this is the bolt lock or something like that. I'm not sure what it is. I was trying to figure out what it is. It's kind of hard part to find the name of. Someone knows it, post it please. Okay, let's take a quick look here. No real markings, as I said. Trigger's nice and light. Alright. Okay, so let's shoot this gun for you real quick here. I'm going to just shoot in standard. There's no BBs or anything in here. Standard semi-auto. We're getting doubles because I think we're getting low. I'm going to put it in full auto and see what happens. Yeah, we're out of CO2, but you got to see it. I was shooting this for my pre-test. I did put quite a few rounds through it, playing around with full auto and stuff, so definitely used up a lot of CO2 there. Alright, I've got one of my pre-test targets here, but we're going to just quickly head outside. I'll show you how I got these results real quick, then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Okay, I'm all set up for the pre-test for my Mauser here. I've got a brand new CO2, 0.25 gram BBs, and let's get right to it here. We're in safe, so let's take the safety off. Okay, first round. 365.6, so we'll say 366. Write it down as we go. 422, wow, that one jumped up. 422, way up there. 421, this gun's pretty hot. Nice and hot. Oh, that was a double. 424, I'm not sure what happened there. It's like it doubled. 418. Okay, let's head back. And we're going to go 30 feet. Hopefully I don't get too many more doubles. This gun is capable of shooting in full auto. I'm not sure what that little bobble was. This is, I believe, a prototype. This is a sample gun. It may not be exactly like the retail version will be when it comes out. This is unbranded, unmarked. It's a sample that I got, but the retail version should be very similar. Alright, so let's fire off 10 rounds. And that didn't even hit. So I'm not sure where it hit. I'm gonna put this back a little bit. Maybe we're shooting high or low. Let's try again. There we go, we're hitting. No, I don't know where that went. Let me go see where the first one hit. That'll give us an idea. Hit high. So we definitely want to be low. Okay. You've adjusted it a bit lower. All right, I've left a few, that was 8 shots that were actually on the target. Oh, kind of on the target. I don't know where these are hitting. I think they were hitting up here. I think this gun is shooting really high. Maybe there's a hop-up situation going on. Either way, you know what? I'm going to have to dial this. And this is just a pre-test. So by moving this down, we should, in theory, be lowering the barrel and getting a lower shot. But this gun wants to shoot high. So we'll need to take a look at that. Maybe there's a hop-up situation, or maybe just need to aim really low, just the way it is. I know with the Umarex version, the barrel almost seems to droop down, and it has a very high front sight. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. So the Umarex has a very high front sight, and the barrel almost seems to droop. So maybe just the way this gun is, the way the sights are, it needs to have a higher piece to get the barrel down. That's possible. So I'll play around with it for when I do my actual test. Hopefully I'll have more on the target. But I did want to shoot in full auto. I mean, why not? Let's see if we can get this gun to blast away. So here we go. There we go. I didn't have very many left. It works in full auto, so that's pretty cool. All right, just for fun, this is full auto burst. Should be 21 rounds in here. Can aim a little bit low, but let's see if we can get them all on target. They all went pretty high.
Actually, you can see it, but they were gone pretty fast. All right, I pretty much used up that CO2. Again, let's head back inside and finish up this review.
Alright, this gun performed pretty well for me. I was kind of surprised at the feet per second performance, even with the 0.25 gram BBs. It shot right around 420 FPS. Nothing wrong with that for sure. And it wasn't a super warm day. It was about 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this pistol has a really nice trigger, nice and short and light. The blowback is very fast and crisp, as you can see. Not too heavy, but does give a nice snappy recoil feel. Now it did shoot really high for me. I had to bring that elevation all the way down, and even then I had to adjust well below the bullseye to get this gun to shoot even close to the bullseye. So basically, with the sight all the way down here, I was aiming right here at 30 feet. This is the grouping I got. Now once I actually got this to group, it did very well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe I shot 10 rounds. There might be some doubles. That might have been one. I'm not sure. But you can see here, not a bad grouping, about easily within 2 inches. So once I got it on the paper, it shot well. Alright, let's get into some of the pros and the cons. The KWC Mauser had a nice snappy blowback feel, very quick. There's lots of metal and a really good overall weight in this gun, very heavy at over 3 pounds. It's okay though, you can hold it two-handed if you'd like. Had a very high FPS, even with the 0.25 gram BBs. And this gun actually, once I got it on paper, seemed to have pretty good accuracy. Overall, it's a great replica of a real Mauser, and that would be the M1932 or the M712 Schnellfeuer, with what seems to be most of the working parts in it. Again, I really like the single action trigger, nice and light, fairly short. It's kind of nice that this gun, at least in the Airsoft version, shoots in both semi and full auto. Not sure if the 4.5mm steel BB version will, probably not, they typically don't. And again, we're hoping this gun's going to come in 4.5mm steel BB and 6mm plastic airsoft. Alright, a few cons. The bolt does not lock back on the last shot, especially in full auto mode, so you are perhaps going to lose some CO2 when you're shooting in full auto and you don't realize you're out of BBs. Again, this gun seemed to shoot really high. I had to adjust everything as low as possible and then aim low to make up for the high shooting that it was doing. And I'm not really sure when we're going to have this gun, because it is a sample product, pre-production model, so hopefully we'll have this gun available for you shortly. Alright, I want to thank you for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Come on down to our replicaairguns.com website where I'll have a written post along with additional photos for this gun, and where we'll eventually have it for sale in our Canada and US online stores at replicaairguns.com and replicaairguns.ca. If you're interested in other products, we have air guns, BB guns, pellet guns, airsoft guns, blank guns, knives, and other accessories. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.